Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, good. We'll start in just 1 second. I'm about ready. I'm getting my files open and maybe some more people will come if I give them one more second. Um, but I like to start right on time, so we won't wait but just another second while I get my stuff open.
Okay.
Right. So you already know me, but
Yes.
some people will be watching the recording. So my name is Courtney. I passed the BTLPT and a bunch of other exams, and now I tutor and offer study material. So I like to show you a little bit about the test before we dive into the speaking, which is what we'll do tonight. So a lot of people tell me, well, Spanish is my first language, so this test is not going to be hard, right? But most people that take the BTLPT, Spanish is their first language. And if we look at the passing rate for the BTLPT, it is, oh, they just put out new data. That's great. This is brand new. Um, so now they've updated it for the 2022 to 2023. So the passing score went up from 53% to 55%. So that's great news. You can see it used to be in the 60s and 70s. So it's gone down, but it went up a little bit. So that's good. And you can compare it to other tests like the core subjects, which you've probably already taken, right? Which has passing rates more like in the 80s and 70s. So it's a lot more people struggle with this, right? Even though Spanish is their first language. So now let's talk about the test, right? So if you Google Texas NESINC manual, this will take you to the free preparation manual, which is not really enough to help most people pass the test, but it's got great information and resources. So we want to look at it, and you can see that listening is 21%, reading comprehension 26%, oral expression 29%, and written expression is 24%, right? So the oral expression that we'll practice tonight is the largest part of the test, right? Um, so let me also show you um, why I can help you. So this has my scores for the tests that I've taken. You can see I've taken 15 of these, right? Um, and passed them all on my first try, right? So that's just a little note in case you're wondering about why I would be able to help you of all people. I have a master's degree in Spanish and I tested a C2 level. So that's advanced high level of Spanish. I know exactly where all the accent marks go. I know the grammar rules, right? So I can help you polish your Spanish. I'm sure you already know Spanish, but I can help you polish it, right? Which is all that you really need. Fine tuning. So let's look at this preparation manual and I want to show you, you definitely want to take advantage of these free resources. There's a little bit of listening practice, not much, but it's a little bit. And then for speaking, you can get some samples and record yourself and play them back, right? And then listen to yourself, see how you did. So let's look at the rubric for speaking since this is what we're doing tonight. We'll do the question and answer because I feel like that's a medium level task. So I don't want to do the hardest thing and I also don't want to do the easiest thing. So we'll do the question and answer. So you can see there's a rubric for the simulated conversation, but we'll do the rubric for the other ones, question and answer, oral presentation, and situation. So to get a perfect score, it'll show 3 on your score report. It will show out of 9 points because 2 people grade it. So that would give it a 6. And then they do a multiplier of 1.5, which brings it up to 9. So you need to fully address the task. That sounds very obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. So they lose points. Your topic development, what you say needs to directly relate to the topic and be well developed. Your details need to be appropriate and effective. Your content information is accurate. You need to show a high or mid-high degree of control of a variety of structures. That means you're varying your language tenses. So you're using, of course, the present tense, but you're also using the past tenses, the preterite and imperfect, the conditional, the future, the subjunctive mood. You don't have to know the names of these things, but you need to be able to do it. A very few grammatical errors occur with no evident patterns. So if you have 2 isolated mistakes that are not related to each other, that's fine. But if you're making the same type of mistakes, they're going to count out for that. very vocabulary used with precision, high level of fluency, very good pronunciation, well organized, generally coherent response. Register is appropriate. So, linguistic register is the level of formality. So, usually, when you get these question and answers, conversations, presentations, you're going to be speaking to maybe a parent, a colleague, a principal. So, you're going to use a formal register. So, you would use usted, right? If they do present you as something where you're talking to a friend, a child, then you would use tú. But I know when I took it, it was all formal stuff. So you want to use usted. So if they tell you their first and last name and then you want to greet them, you would say señora or señor, right? We wouldn't call them by their first name to show that extra respect. So that's how it's graded. And you can see this is how they grade the question and answer, the presentation, and the situation opinion. And then the rubric for the conversation is up here. And it's very similar. So that's how we get a perfect score, right? What I've noticed in doing a lot of tutoring, because I do tutoring every Tuesday night for the BTLBT, and people pay for my course in tutoring, and everybody I work with, they already speak Spanish pretty well. So most of the time, it's not their Spanish that's giving them trouble, it's talking for long enough, right? So it's really idea generation. Do we have enough ideas to fill up a minute of content? So that's why we have to practice, because some of us, yes, need to work on our Spanish, but a lot of us just need to practice getting better at speaking long enough, right? So here's the instructions. These are paraphrased from the manual. For this assignment, you will be asked two questions related to information provided. The first screen will appear and you will see instructions for the assignment and have 15 seconds to review the scenario presented on screen. When the 15 seconds of review time is complete, the exam will automatically advance to the first question screen. The audio presentation of the question will automatically begin. You will not be able to pause, stop, or replay any portion of the assignment. For each question, you will hear the question followed by 60 seconds of silence. Use this period of silence to prepare your response to the question. So you do get erasable sheets, kind of like a dry erase board, but they're sheets to write on, right? When the preparation time is complete, the audio presentation of the question will then be repeated and you will hear a tone when it is time to begin speaking. You will have 60 seconds to complete your oral response to the question. You should respond as fully and appropriately as possible. The response you provide during the specified response time will be automatically recorded. When the response time for the first question is ended, you will automatically be taken to the next question. When the response time for the second question is ended, you will automatically be taken to directions for the next assignment. So they give you this scenario, and we'll do these right here, but we're going to just start with one. So imagínese que un director le hace estas preguntas en una entrevista. So now what I'm going to do is set a timer for 60 seconds and give you guys 60 seconds to take notes, right? About what you're going to speak about. And then we'll see who wants to present, right? So I'll give you 1 minute to do this after I read it, okay? ¿Por qué quiere enseñar en nuestro distrito? 1 minute to take notes. All right. Well, would anybody want to present on this? Remember, this is a judgment-free zone. We'll celebrate with you when you're done, even if it's not perfect. Does anybody want to try this one?
Can I try it?
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, I'll read it again and then you go ahead. ¿Por qué quiere enseñar en nuestro distrito?
Hola, directora, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo está? Gracias por esta entrevista. Bueno, yo quiero estar en su escuela porque quiero ayudar a los estudiantes y también quisiera crecer como una maestra y traer nuevas ideas a las clases y también innovar esas ideas y que mis estudiantes aprendan todo sobre mí y yo aprender de ellos, también también para que mis colegas también puedan aprender de mí y yo también tomar sus ideas para enseñar en mi clase a los estudiantes. Si usted tiene otra pregunta o duda, por favor no dude en llamarme o mandarme un correo electrónico y yo con mucho gusto le puedo contestar cualquier pregunta o duda, pero muchas
Wow.
gracias.
Very well done. The only thing I think that really, I mean, you didn't make mistakes. You were on topic. The
Yeah.
only thing I think is maybe you could specifically mention why that district in particular. Like maybe you like
Oh,
it because they've got a lot of students of low economic resources, right? Or maybe
okay.
you like that it's got a lot of technology, or maybe you like the leadership style of, where it's a little bit more specific, but your Spanish was spot on. And
Thank you.
I think that would get a really high score. Um, so now this is the same scenario, right? We're still on you're at an interview and the director's asking you, the principal's asking you this question. Now, I'll give you 1 minute to prepare after I read this one. ¿Qué materia quiere enseñar? 1 minute. All right. Would anybody like to present on this one? No? Okay.
I,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
can try.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right.
Is it a minute long too, this one?
Yeah, this one. ¿Qué materia quiere enseñar? So I'll read it and then you get 1 minute. ¿Qué materia quiere enseñar? 1 minute.
Bueno, bueno, creo que sería una buena candidata para enseñar la materia matemáticas. La razón es porque tengo más de 3 años de experiencia y me siento preparada para enseñar esta materia. Usaría unas enseñanzas utilizando manipulativos que les ayudaría a los estudiantes a visualizarmente ver los objetivos de esa lección, así para los que tienen problemas aprendiendo la materia pueden usar estos objetos que les ayudaría mucho a enseñarse a cómo multiplicar, cómo hacer esos problemas con más habilidades para ellos progresar en esta materia. Creo que sería una perfecta candidata para este material. So for that one, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So for that one, like, is it gonna show us the time in the screen
Yes.
so we can know more or
It'll
less?
yeah, it'll show you how long is left, just like I was doing, so you know
Okay,
how long.
because I feel like I went too fast
That was
thinking
good.
I
Yeah, you
wasn't
might
able
slow
to.
down a little bit. That way you can fill up every last second, but it was good. You didn't make mistakes. You were on topic. You had good ideas. You defended everything well. Um, So, so that was great. And I thought I'd show you guys some testimonials. It's kind of hard to see. These are emails that people sent. So Alyssa, um, she really appreciated that I gave her a call the day before she took her test,
Mhm.
and then Let's see. I think I've got some more testimonials here. This one's a score report. Some people send me their score reports. Some people just send me an email. But you can see she did really well at 253, right? Her name's Anna. She really did great on the listening, reading, and oral expression. I think she still struggled a little bit with writing, but she still passed. So that was excellent. Um, and then let's see, I think I've got some more. This one right here, Angie, one of my favorites. She was on her fifth try, so she was on her last attempt, and was going to need a waiver if she didn't do it. And she said mine was the most helpful resource. So she had tried almost everything before she found me. And what she liked was I really do everything. So we practice the reading, the writing, the listening, speaking, and you get feedback on how to improve, right? So it really helped her. She stayed with me for a few months to make sure she was ready. And then she passed, and that was her last test. So super excited for her. Um, and that might be, I think those are the only ones I have on there. And then I have a couple more right here. Karumi passed. She's from Mexico, but she moved here when she was really young. So she didn't really get the accent marks down because she didn't spend enough time in school there to really get that down. So we worked on that, and she did very well on the reading and listening and everything. And then Janet, she was kind of like Angie, had taken it multiple times and kept doing really poorly on the lesson plan. But I told her exactly what to do to get a perfect score on the lesson plan. And she passed. And she's so excited because she has a family-friendly schedule. So if you need help, I know some of you guys already have my stuff, but some people will be watching the recording too. So let me show you. Um,
Do you also do for the lesson plans like
yeah, we go over that the night that we do writing.
mhm.
So, the night that we do writing, and lately people are mostly getting a lesson plan on language arts. I mean, I don't ever ask people what's on their test because that's unethical. But people will usually tell me the subject that they got it on, right? And it's almost always been on language arts. So we'll actually be doing the writing on November 5th. And we will talk about the lesson plan, but we will also talk about the other writing tasks, and we'll go over where to put accent marks. So I covered all in an hour. It's a lot to take in an hour, right? So I send the recording. That way you can catch up, and it comes with access to the course. So it's a great way to get ready for the test because it has everything. So that's what I highly recommend. Like if you're deciding between the course and the course in tutoring, people love the tutoring, and it's a small group and people participate. Um, and we all share like what we're doing to get better at Spanish, and people teach me stuff too. I'm always learning. And it's interesting too, because sometimes we talk about our test experience because some people have taken it before and they'll tell us not about test questions. We don't do that, but about the situation and circumstances at the test center. So, because every test center is a little different, right? So, like one lady was telling me last night that they had dividers at her test center. So people can't see you and you can't see them. You have a lot of privacy. It's not always like that, but so we talk about those kind of things too. And it's $39 a week, or if you want to pay for 2 months, 2 months seems to be like the perfect amount of time to study, I think, because it takes time to get better at our language skills, right? So it's cheaper if you pay at once for $299, but there's a payment plan. So you don't have to pay it all at once. You can do it over the course of 4 months or even over the course of 12 months, and that will save you money. Or if you want the course only, you still get the reading, writing, listening, speaking, and I still grade your assignments, but you don't meet with me weekly. So a lot of people get the course and then later they do the course in tutoring because they realize they need the tutoring. So I think it's better to just start with that. But if that works better for you, if you're like super self-directed and you know you don't need tutoring, that's only $119. So, it's more budget friendly, but most people really want the tutoring. And then today I have a coupon, and I'll put the links in the chat box. because I have an end of the month special like today, to save 10%. So I'll put that in the chat box and I'll put the links in case you want to enroll. And we met last night. If you enroll today and you want me to send you the recording from last night, I can do that. That way you can, you know, get started a little bit sooner. So I'd be happy to do that if that helps you. And you could see what we did last night, which was all speaking. And people really participated well last night. It was great. So here's the course in tutoring. And then the course only. It's the same course. So you don't need both. You just want one or the other, right? It's the same course. But if you do the course in tutoring, it's also great because when you finish everything in the course, I'll send you more writing tasks, more speaking tasks. I don't grade all the extra ones. I grade what's in the course, but then the extra ones you can do for your own practice. And also by the time I've graded everything, you know how to grade it, right? You know, like what I'm telling you to work on. We've looked at the rubric so you can become your own grader and critique yourself. Um, but does anybody have any questions or comments or anything?
Just me. Do you offer like tutoring, like 1 hour or something
Yeah, every
similar to
Tuesday
that
at 7:30 p.m. we meet for the BTLPT for a whole hour every Tuesday.
every Tuesday?
Yeah.
And you don't have any like for this week before Saturday?
I can do private tutoring if you need private tutoring. I have
Oh
really
yeah.
limited availability, but I could do Friday at like what kind of late at night, probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. Um, but
Yes,
other
we
than that, I
can.
don't really have any openings this week.
So Friday, yeah, because I test this Saturday at 8, but I'm just like I'm okay with the lesson plan, but I would like for someone to like just go over it with me just to make sure I'm hitting the right information because I'm struggling with trying to put the theme and the objectives together.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was looking for
if you
something
give
like
me your
that.
phone number, I'll text you and we can try to set it up. If you put your number in the chat box, I'll text you right now.
Okay. Yeah, I was texting with you, but then I got busy with school and
Oh, okay.
work. But I was meaning to get the private session.
Is your
Sorry.
last name Calderon?
No, Salinas.
Salinas. Okay. Yeah, I don't see the text like, I didn't find it quickly, but if you text me, reply to it. Okay, good. You sent me your number. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll be able to find it if I type in your number. Because I don't save everybody's contacts. I text a lot of people, but I
Mm-hmm.
can find it with your phone number. All
Yes, and I feel like I do want to get the private session.
Great. Yeah, we could plan it for Friday night. If that's okay with you, I know it's kind of late the night before your test, but we'll end right on time. If we can meet at 8:30, from 8:30 to 9:30, then you could still maybe get 8 hours of sleep before your test. Does that sound good?
Yes, that sounds good. It's just to go over and get some feedback. I would
Yes.
appreciate that.
And I can show you some extra lesson plans. We can go over
Mhm.
them. And you can even write one live if you want to, and we can talk about it, how to make it better. So I'll look up your email. I'm sure I have your email from when you signed up for the tutoring and
Mhm.
email you the invoice and the Zoom link.
Okay, sounds
And
perfect.
then
Thank you.
that way you can put it on your calendar. Well, thank you
Mhm.
guys. Thanks for participating and for coming. And please, if you know anybody that, even if it's the STR bilingual supplemental course subjects, if you would let people know, or even better, let your district know, because some districts are now buying stuff for their people. So like Waco ISD, their teachers don't have to pay for this, right? Their district is buying it for them, which is great. So if you want to mention it to your district, you might be able to help people in the future not have to pay out of pocket, which is pretty cool. Um, and then Northeast ISD in San Antonio, they're about to start buying my stuff too. So that would be great if you recommend me to your HR people or your principal or whoever handles that stuff. But thank you guys so much. I hope you'll have a great night.
Thank you, likewise. Bye-bye.
Bye.